So let me start off with and the way and we're trying to simulate an environment as it would be in the store, right? So we are hooked on to the corporate Wi-Fi, both the Apple TV as well as our devices, and we are going to demonstrate whatever we do. We demonstrate through the corporate Wi-Fi network, which would be similar to an in-store Wi-Fi network. And all server interactions are happening over the internet. So we are using our internet pipe as well to do that, just as we would use a store's internet connection to communicate with servers there, which would be in the cloud. So let me just start this thing off. So as a shopper, the app on my phone is typically the retailer's app that will be powered by Helios technology. I've downloaded that onto my phone. I walk into a store, and as I walk into a store, I'm given the option to check in. Different ways of checking in. The simplest one that we'll demonstrate right now is the one using QR code scanning. So as I walk into a store, and I point my phone to a QR code, it gets recognized, and I'm checked into the store. Welcome to the Helios store in New York City, it says. And once I'm checked in, I'm asked, as a shopper, some basic questions. What do I want to do today? Am I looking for something specific? Am I here just to look around? Do I want to learn about a specific product? What do I want to do? If I select just look around, I get a list of special offers on different products in the store. But let's say I'm looking for something specific. Let's say I'm looking for, I don't know, music players, as an example. And again, there's an option to search, as well as an option to select from a menu, whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's say I go into music players, and it says guide me. Now, what you see here is an example of a visual marker, or more specifically, a frame marker. And this border that you see around it, that is what carries the encoding. So think of it as printed signages in your stores along the corners of your different aisles or departments, which may have any kind of graphic or any kind of text or anything in the middle. This part really doesn't matter. It's really the frame markers that carry the encoding, which is recognized by the phone camera. And so, I locate the marker closest to me, I point my phone at it, and as I point my phone at it, you can see that it overlays information about the different deals that may be, or different offers that may be available in that aisle, as well as a direction telling me to go right to reach where I intend to go. And so, I go right. And as I go right, I reach the next marker. And as I reach the next marker, it overlays similar information, tells me to go right again. I go right, walk up, approach the next marker that's close to me, and there you go. I've reached my destination. A very simplistic scenario of how navigation would work. But the key to it is a store map that actually gets downloaded onto your phone when you check into the store. And so once you've checked in, as far as navigation is concerned, you're not reaching out to outside networks. It's all downloaded onto your phone. And you're reaching into in-store systems to get information on relevant products, deals, offers, and such. So once you're in the stores, and for navigation purposes, you don't need the internet anymore. And so now that I've reached the section where I've wanted to reach, let's try and identify some of these products. Let's start off by a more simplistic way of doing this. Let's just use barcodes for a start, right? Pick up a product, you point it to a barcode, dollhouse. Once the product's identified, you can seek information on the product, features, specifications, and such. Choices on what to purchase. Let's say you want to purchase a hardcover, for instance. You can buy now, place an order. It tells you the inventory levels. It tells you the list price. It tells you the discounted price. All of that. Now let's try something fancier. Let's try and identify a product by clicking a photograph of it. Take a photograph, press use. Typically takes around 20 to 30 seconds to reach out to the cloud, and well, sometimes we get luckier. But yeah, within a maximum of 20 to 30 seconds, it identifies the product. It gives you the name of the product. As you can see, this is what I scanned, or this is what I took a photograph of, and that's exactly what's showing up here. And later on, I can demonstrate visual identification of any of these different products out here to show that it actually works across a variety of different kinds of products. And so now that I've identified it, again, I get all the relevant information to the product, the model number, the offers, the list price, the market price, and such. Choices. And I click on buy, which tells me that the associate can be out with my product. Now this can be linked up to a shopping cart. This can be linked up to checkout systems, whatever you have it. And now that I've shopped for a toy, I get an option for a related product, which again, I can dive into, view more information about it, guidance, similar offers, and such. And now, let's say I want help on a particular product. And so I go into the assistance screen. Let's say I have a specific question to ask. When will this be available? Or rather, let me make this a little simpler. When will this product be available? When I send, I get an option of either to send to store or send to shoppers, as we've seen in the animation that we saw earlier. I send it to a store. A store rep in his back office does not necessarily need a client or a Helios client to access this. This would show up on the store's Twitter feed. And let me try and load that Twitter feed over here. Last message that you sent delivered 1 minute ago. This was the message that was sent across by Todd. I can now, from the store, I can send a reply directly through Twitter. The hashtag identifies the actual store or the social identity of that specific store. And as we wait a little, this is how the communication takes place between the store as well as the shopper. As you can see, it's almost instantaneous, courtesy Twitter. And now, let's say the shopper has a question about another product where he wants to ask shoppers about how they liked something. And now, let's see what another shopper would see. Right on top, you see the message from Todd. How did you like the cover? And similarly, the shopper can respond back.
Any shopper?
Any shopper who is following that store at that point in time, and that shopper may or may not be in that store, but it's a loyal shopper who is following that store, they would get that.
Tons of smiley faces. Is that what it is?
When we actually go on to checking out, you see that this is the barcode that gets generated for a shopper. This barcode, and the reason we've kept it as a one-dimensional barcode and not as a QR code is because it can be scanned off the screen of the phone by a regular barcode scanner that you have today in your stores attached to your checkout terminals. Now this can either identify you, or it can identify your shopping cart, whatever the case may be. And this is what eventually establishes the linkage between all the activities that took place in the store, irrespective of what you bought or didn't buy, and at the end of it all, what you actually bought. And that comes together to be able to create the analytics that we spoke of in our demonstration. This is what Helios is all about. Thank you.